Okay, I'm sorry about that. My camera, the video stopped. I think there's an hour limit. I'll be talking, I don't be realizing all that time passed. So there was an hour limit, so I'm just gonna finish this up. So what I was saying is, if you look like, you look weak, you look like you can't do anything, nobody ever seen you do anything, you have bad posture, you have no musculature, you have horrible looking complexion, you might have dark circles under your eyes, and then you spew a bunch of hate. That's not an example to me of somebody, of a healthy practitioner I should be listening to. And there's nothing about what either one of them said was aligned with what Africans do or know at all. I really wonder why more Africans, I never see Africans speak up against it, but the stuff that they be talking about is not even anything. It's not rooted in anything African. So for me, I take what I do very seriously. I have a background in the health sciences, and particularly exercise and sports science, nutrition science, and before that, I was in biotechnology. Okay, so I've been paying attention to infectious diseases. Microbiology is a huge interest of mine. Genetics and how the body works. Okay, that has been like my realm. And I always said I never want to be responsible for giving somebody the wrong advice. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody's coming to me because they want to improve themselves and they want to be healthier. I don't ever want to give them advice that's going to make them worse. I don't ever want to be responsible for that. So I take what I do very seriously. And I've been working with clients since like 2003. So I'm also a practitioner. So I'm not somebody who's like, oh, I just do this and it works for me, so it worked for me, and I experiment on myself. First of all, I don't experiment on myself, and I don't experiment on my clients. I do and I recommend what has proven to work over generations. I'm not into the new age nothing. I'm into some indigenous, pre-colonial, ancestral shit. Okay? There's nothing new under the sun. People now aren't smarter than people that came before us. Okay? Even with all this information out there, we're not. We're not as strong, we're not as healthy. And when they say that we're living longer now than we ever have, that's not true. Like a lot of people recite things and they have never done the research. They don't even know how to research, but they just recite these things. I'm gonna tell you right now, it is not true that we're living longer now than we ever have. That is absolutely not true. If you look into the archaeological record, anthropological record, primary documents, and talk to some people in your family, if you got a family with a lot of long-living people. Some people don't, but there are a lot of people. I know a lot of Black Americans, for example, that have people in their family that was living at 98 and 100, like all over the place. Speak to them. What did they eat? What did they do? Speak to the woman who had 12 babies. What did they do? What did they eat? The ones who were having them at home like it was nothing. Who's doing that now? You know what I'm saying? So we are weaker. These kids now, this is the first generation where they say that the kids are not expected to live as long as their parents because they're so freaking sickly. These are the sickest group of kids we've ever seen since we've been on this planet, and that's a fact. So this idea that kids are living longer now, people are living longer now than we ever have, or healthier now than we ever have been, that is absolutely not true. And I'm not going to get so in-depth about that in this video because I'll be talking for another hour. Definitely check out my work on my YouTube page, The Body Scientist 81, okay? Because I have a lot of very important videos. If you're really serious about your health for real, okay, and you want real information for real, you should really check out my YouTube page, The Body Scientist 81, and follow my other YouTube page, Instagram, _body_scientist. And actually read the things that I post, and you'll learn a lot. There's a lot of propaganda, okay? There's a lot of health propaganda, nutrition propaganda. The nutrition graduate program that I was in was the only program in the country that did not take money from the food industry. Every single nutrition program in this country is funded by the food industry, just like all the medical programs are funded by the pharmaceutical industry. And they are the same people at the end of the day. Okay? The pharmaceutical companies indoctrinate the medical students with a bunch of nonsense. And the food companies indoctrinate the nutrition students with a bunch of nonsense. Then if you become a registered dietitian, which is a RD, you cannot go against the American Dietetic Association, the ADA. If you become a MD, okay, You can't go against the American Medical Association, the AMA. So this is the reason why a lot of times doctors aren't going to tell you the truth, because they might think something is bad, but if they speak up about it, they could get their license taken. They're not trying to have that happen when they spend all these years in school, all this money, all this debt. Now they have this lifestyle. No, they're not going to do that. Most of them aren't strong enough to do that. Okay? And there are books written, like Nina, I can't pronounce her last name, Nina T, I'm going to say. She wrote a book called Real Food for Pregnancy, right? And she wrote some other books. This woman was an RD, and she worked a lot with mothers and gestational diabetes for years under, as an RD, and talked about the damaging advice that RDs give to pregnant women and how it's leading to just gestational diabetes, which is a problem, and other issues. And she just couldn't do it anymore. Okay? So for me, I never became an RD and worked in a hospital or anything like that, because I knew that what they were telling people was nonsense, and I did not want to do it. So I went my own independent route. So I'm going to work for myself because I want to tell people the truth. I would have way more money if I just went along with the bullshit. The people who go along with the bullshit, they have way more money because they have sponsorships and major companies and stuff like that. I don't have any of that because it's just not in me to a lot of people for money. It's just not in me. I did what I did because I really want to help people. I'm not that money hungry. Yes, money matters. I'm always focused on making money and how I spend my money. Yes. But I'm not going to sell my soul for money. And most people will, okay? Most people will. So that's, again, where I'm coming from. So everything I do is grassroots. Everything I do is some real shit. I spend a lot of money and time, studying with various people. I'm very careful and conscious of who my teachers are. I'm very careful and conscious of what I tell people and advise people. I'm very careful and conscious about what I do with my own body. Okay, so I wanted to do a video reintroducing myself, and I think I've said enough. Okay, again, this is part 2. I started off with part 1. The camera stopped, and so I just had to finish it. But I'm always available for in-depth evaluations of people. I work with people from a distance. I train people. I'm kind of back and forth between New York and Chicago, and before the mandates. It's sad because I love my city. New York is one of the dopest cities, and the other dopest city is New Orleans. To me, there's no place like New York, and there's no place like New Orleans. And guess what? Those are the only 2 cities in America that I think that start with the word new. New York, New Orleans. You got the Big Apple and the Big Easy. What other 2 cities got a nickname with the word big in it? New York, New Orleans, Big Apple, Big Easy. They are the 2 dopest cities to me on earth, okay? Let me just say that. On earth, all right? And everybody's into different things, but if you're really into having fun and turning up and really intense culture, and yeah, those 2 cities could get it. But both of them have these mandates. I don't want to bother with that. You know what I'm saying? So I really haven't been to my back home. I need to go back to New York. It's sad. I forgot what my point was. There was a point that I had. And bring that up. I forgot. I lost my train of thought. I'm hungry. I need to go eat. But just, follow my work on other platforms. That's what I was saying. I'm available for evaluations. I work with people from a distance. I work with people in other cities when I travel. I haven't been traveling as much since COVID, not because I'm scared of anything, because I ain't scared of no goddamn virus, any of them. But because a lot of places aren't the same anymore. Like the Bay Area was a place I used to love to go to for dancing. New York and the Bay are the only 2 places in the U.S. where you can find a plethora of Afro-diasporic dances. They're dance classes. They're both black dance meccas, New York and the Bay. But both of them have these mandates. And I'm not going to wear a mask in a dance class. That's like wearing a mask in playing basketball. So I really, so there's a lot of places that I just don't want to go to because shit's not the same no more. So I haven't been traveling as much. But when I do travel, I am available to work with people in different places. I plan on coming to Houston soon. Houston has been in my radar. I feel like it's time for me. It's calling me. But you know, whenever I'm in another city, I'm always open to work with people. People, you know, people can come here and work with me, whatever. I work with people in a variety of ways. Okay, from sacred sexual stuff to training to nutrition. You know, I'm working on trying to develop more of my online classes and stuff like that. But it's hard being a one-woman show. But I do everything myself. I need a team, but that's a whole other conversation. But I'm just going to end this conversation here. If you learn something, please like it. Please share it. Please follow me on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, you don't follow me on Instagram, please be sure to follow me on Instagram. And if you're on Instagram, you don't follow me on YouTube, be sure to do that. And yeah, just I think I'm gonna stop talking now. I think I've said enough. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.